Welcome to the Wealthy Woman's Podcast, a podcast for high-achieving women who are great at making money but struggle to build wealth. You'll learn how to take control of your money, increase your net worth, and make more. Ladies, it's time to create a life with more money and more freedom. Let's dive in. Well, hello there. Welcome back. I'm so excited you're here as usual. And I want to remind you that if you are listening to this podcast in 2023, that on July 29th, I am hosting a live workshop all about saving money. It's called Save 2K in 2 months, and it's going to happen Saturday, July 29th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, ladies, this is the workshop to attend if you have challenges when it comes to saving money. Like if you know you should be saving, but you're not, or if you save some money, but then you're constantly spending it away, this workshop is absolutely for you. I'm going to share with you why it's so hard for you to save, how to really retrain yourself so that you can save consistently. Then we're also going to talk about different strategies for saving. So everyone is different. So I'm going to share different strategies and you get to choose whichever one works best for you. And then I'm going to also really help you start right away and to follow through with everything that we talk about. So many times we get good ideas and we get inspired and we feel motivated, but we don't take action. And I do not want that to be your story. I want you to come to this workshop and feel inspired and actually take action to change your life. I want you to end 2023 with way more money than you started it with, okay? So right below in the show notes, you will see the link to register, and I hope you do just that. So today we're going to talk about how to feel more abundant. One of my coaching colleagues invited me to do an Instagram live with her. So we collaborated and we did an Instagram live and it was so good. She decided that she wanted me to talk about abundance and I brought the fire, you all. And I thought, this is so good. I need to share it on the podcast. So I turned the Instagram live that we did into this podcast episode. So let me go ahead and get started. So we're going to cover really 3 steps to feeling more abundant. Number 1 is all about recognizing the abundance that's all around you. There is so much abundance around you, but sometimes we're blinded by all of the scarcity thoughts and all of the things we think that we lack, that we are blinded from actually seeing the abundance that's everywhere. Number 2 is all about wanting from abundance. I'm going to teach you a strategy that I learned during my life coaching certification, all around how to want from abundance. And then the third thing we're going to discuss is how to embrace your God-given abundance. You are abundant. We've been talking about this for the last 3 episodes or so. Like you have abundance within you and you just need to embrace it. So that is what this podcast is going to be about. So let's go ahead and dive in. So number 1, recognize the abundance that's all around you. So our brains can really focus on one major thing at a time. And what you focus on expands. So we always have a choice in regards to what we pay attention to. Think of a battery. There's the positive charge and the negative charge. So everything in the world has 2 sides. It has a positive and a negative. And our brains are programmed to always look for the negative. And in order to really feel abundant, you have to learn how to look at the positive. Our thoughts determine how we feel. When we're always thinking about lack and feeling scarcity, we feel scarce. We feel like there's not enough. We feel like we're lacking something. But when we can really just think about our lives and notice all the things that we have, the fact that we are alive, the fact that we have food, the fact that we have shelter, the fact that we are okay, the fact that we are safe, those things are abundance. And sometimes you have to be reminded to look at those things. So with that, I really wanted to look up the definitions of abundance and scarcity, right? So abundance is, according to the dictionary, an over sufficient quantity of supply. So that's more than enough. Scarcity, on the other hand, is insufficiency or shortness of supply. And so because both of those words, or because both of those definitions have the word or root word sufficient in them, I decided to look up what it meant to be sufficient. And it simply is enough. To be sufficient means you have enough. And so no matter where you are today, if you have an iPhone or an Android phone and you are able to listen to a podcast, I believe that 99.9% of you who are listening to me have enough. You have enough. And when you can feel secure in your enoughness, the fact that you are safe, that you have shelter, that you have transportation, that you have food, that you have clean water to drink, that you have water to bathe with, that you are not on the streets. If that is you, my friend, then I want to offer you that perspective so that you can recognize that abundance that's all around you. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that you need to not want and not desire. That is far from what I'm saying, because I truly believe that to be human is to always be evolving and desiring and wanting more. That's just human nature. And we're never, ever going to get away from that unless we start suppressing ourselves and start suppressing our dreams, which we sometimes do. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But for today, I want you to just understand and know that you are good, that you are enough, that you have enough. And with that, you can let all of the scarcity go. You can let all of the lack go because you have enough right where you are right now. Now, that is just the first part. When you can be clear on that and really just sit with that, then you can kind of calm yourself down a little bit. That part of you that's worried, that part of you that thinks, you don't have enough, when you can remind yourself that that's not true, you actually are good, then you can start to allow yourself to do what I'm going to share with you in number 2, which is to want from abundance. So here's what I want you to know. This is a concept that I learned from my life coaching certification program through the Life Coach School. We learned how to want from abundance. Many times we want from a place of not having, or we want from a place of lack. And when we do that, it feels really, really bad to want. So we stop wanting, we stop dreaming, and we trick ourselves into believing that we're just content. We're satisfied with everything that we have and we don't need anything else. But like I said earlier, it is human nature to desire, to want more, to grow, to want to evolve, to want to have and experience different things. That is just human nature. And so when we're wanting from lack, though, we try to stifle ourselves from wanting because it's painful, because we're wanting because we don't have, or we were wanting from a place while recognizing that we don't have enough or our life is not great. And so we want this other life. But what if you could want from a place of abundance, meaning you can want more, but still be appreciative of everything you have. You can want to experience a different type of life while appreciating the life you currently have. That is when it becomes fun to want. That is when it becomes fun to desire, because now you're desiring and wanting from a place of abundance, from a place of already having, from a place of enoughness. So here is an exercise that you can actually do to help yourself begin to want from abundance. So the first thing you can do is make a list of 20 things that you want, but here's the catch. Every other thing that you list must be something that you want and already have. Okay, so let's say you made your list. So the first thing on your list could be, I want to live in a safe neighborhood. And maybe you already do live in a safe neighborhood. So that is something that you want, that you already have. And maybe the third thing is you could say, I want 2 healthy children. And maybe you already have 2 healthy children. And so right between those two, for number 2, you can put, I want a Mercedes Benz, right? So that's like sandwiching something that you want but you don't have with 2 things that you really want and already have. So your list would be filled just like that. So every other thing would be something that you want, but the catch is you already have it. And allow yourself to want the things that you already have and appreciate the things that you already have. And that just opens you up to really being able to want from abundance. Because like I said earlier, when we're wanting from lack, we feel scarcity, we feel bad, and our brains, they don't like to feel negative emotion. They want to fix negative emotion. And the way our brains usually tend to fix negative emotion, especially when it comes around dreaming and desiring from a place of lack, we just stop dreaming altogether. We just settle for what we have. We don't allow ourselves to evolve or create or dream or accomplish more. And we just live life on rinse and repeat, right? And so this is a way that you can start wanting from abundance versus wanting from lack, by allowing yourself to recognize all the things that you want and already have, and allowing yourself to want and desire things that are forthcoming, things that you haven't experienced yet, because they are both valid. But you have to get your brain on board with recognizing that both are equally important. The things that you want that you already have are just as important as the things that you want that are forthcoming, that are not here yet, that you're working towards. Both are important, and it's so crucial that you recognize both. Okay, so now we're on to number 3, embrace your God-given abundance. And this is what we've been talking about the last few episodes. So episode number 15, 16, and 17, we've been talking about you and how much value you have and how much value you can bring into your life in the form of money, and how you can earn more either in your business or your career. We've really been focusing on that. So I hope you really do understand that you are abundant. Like, God has given you so much value, so much talent, so many gifts, so much purpose that you can then show up in the world and create value from that and become more and more abundant by making more and more money by using those gifts and talents. So the third part here is just to embrace that, right? And get rid of the thought that there is a limited amount of money in the world that you can make, right? That is why you feel lack. You feel lack because you think that what you have is all that you can get and that what you have is not enough. And so the opposite of that, in order to feel more abundant, you have to understand that there is no limit to the amount of money you can make. What you have now is good. You appreciate what you have now, but also still allow yourself to want more. And I will keep preaching this from the rooftop, that we do not have a limited amount of money in the world where everyone is trying to get their fair share. That's not how it works. There is not one pie that we all have to fight over, that we all have to try to get a slither of. Everybody gets their own pie. Everybody has their own God-given talents, their own God-given values that they can contribute to the world as much as they want, and then be willing to receive money in return, right? Nobody can take your pie. Nobody can take your money. Remember the example of Thor's hammer I gave, I think in episode 15, that Thor has a hammer. If you're a Marvel fan, you know who Thor is. He's a superhero who has this really heavy hammer that only he can pick up. Nobody else can pick it up, not even the Hawk. And you know how big the Hawk is and how strong he is. Only Thor can pick up his hammer. And that is the same for you. Only you can pick up the value that was designed for you. If you don't use it, if you don't contribute your value to the world and then collect money in return, nobody else can take it. It just sits here on earth unused potential, right? And so remember that we all have value inside of us. And we make our income and our money more plentiful by contributing that value. And remember, the way to contribute that value is to access your brain, get those ideas out, excavate all those ideas, all those gifts, all those talents, create some value, put those ideas into practice, package them up, contribute them to the world, and be willing to receive money in return for that. And if you have not listened to episode 15, 16, and 17, then I highly recommend you listen to them because it's all about this. It's all about becoming more abundant, understanding your worth, understanding that you can make as much money as you want. You can earn more, like to understand how valuable you are, to understand the talents and the gifts that are already inside of you. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Remember that on July 29th, Saturday morning at 10 a.m., I am hosting a workshop. It's all about saving money. Join me. More information about that is below in the show notes, okay? I hope to see you there. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, before you go, if you're ready to create a life with more money and more freedom, then you're invited to join the Wealthy Woman's Academy, my signature coaching program where you'll learn how to take control of your money and build wealth without sacrificing your lifestyle. To get started, head on over to JermaineFoley.com. That's Jermaine with a G, Foley.com. See you there.